Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind, thinking I can see through this and see what's behind. Got no way to prove this, so maybe I'm lying. But I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put the blame on me. Have you ever wondered why some teams consistently outperform others, even under the same circumstances? Well, stay tuned for tips on driving peak performance from workplace teams. Today, we are exploring self-determination theory. Rise and shine, leaders. This is Glenn Guyton, keynote speaker and workplace trainer. It is time for our executive coffee break. I've got my beverage in hand. I hope you have yours too. They say you can't choose your family, but you can choose your workplace culture and your beverage. Leadership matters, so you might as well get good at it. I start off with a little song by Rag and Bone Man that talks about being human. And as supervisors, as leaders, we're dealing with human beings. And unlocking peak performance allows us to get the most out of our teams. Part of that is understanding human behavior to get the advantage as we look toward the future and seek to avoid workplace disruption. So how can we unleash the power of self-determination in leadership? Again, all week, I've been talking about motivation theories. So again, I'll put in the description the previous post about this. Please go back and check those out. But today we're going to talk about self-determination theory by Deci and Ryan. This theory came out in 1985. The theory emphasizes the role of intrinsic and extrinsic sources of motivation in driving human behavior, right? We're only human. Our teams are only human. As leaders, we're only human. And so how do we work this thing out? Edward Deci and Richard Ryan proposed that conditions supporting an individual's behavior of autonomy, competence, and relatedness foster the most high-quality forms of motivation and engagement for activities, including enhanced performance, that's why we're here, persistence, and creativity. We want to drive innovation. That's why I'm talking about this today. I want to help you enhance your team's performance. I want you to look toward the future, and I want you to drive innovation because you know how to take care of your people and get peak performance out of them. So by focusing on the fundamental psychological tendencies toward intrinsic motivation and integration, self-determination theory occupies a unique position in psychology as it addresses not only the central questions of why people do what they do, but also the costs and benefits of various ways of socially regulating or promoting behavior. That's key for us. And so if you don't listen to anything else, I want you to catch this. Self-determination theory occupies a unique position in psychology as it addresses not only the central questions of why people do what they do, but also the costs and benefits of various ways of socially regulating or promoting behavior. It's important that we as leaders understand the costs and the reward, the ROI, right? The return on investment as we think about applying different types of theories in the workplace. So 5 things that I'll share with you to consider when you think about applying self-determination theory in your workplace. Number 1, promote autonomy. I'm a big proponent of this. Offer flexibility in task completion to give employees a sense of control over their work. And coming out of the global pandemic with remote work, we have to trust our people. Autonomy is important. We need to hire the right people. We need to train our people properly, and we need to give them the ability to do their work in ways that are flexible, whether that's at home, whether that's hybrid, whatever the reorganization needs to be. Flexibility is going to be the key for us as leaders to adapt to this changing workplace and workforce. Number 2, Enhance competence. I talked about this already a little bit, but provide opportunities for employees to acquire new skills and tackle challenging projects, thereby boosting their sense of competence. I know some of you all get this. I got some messages in the chat about this, about helping to employees develop. It is so important. So we can't just blame people for not performing unless we're giving them the opportunities to perform and the knowledge to perform. Number 3, foster relatedness. Maybe you want to say belonging, and that's the word now, but create an inclusive and supportive work environment where employees feel connected to their colleagues and the organization. This is why belonging matters. It's not just some touchy-feely stuff. These millennials, these Gen Xers, or not Gen Xers, Gen Zers are whack. They're too touchy-feely. They're too sensitive. No, it's just a different day and age. People know better. And so if we know better, we want to do better. And we have to figure out what drives performance and drives engagement. Go back and watch my video on the XY theory. You'll understand what I'm saying. You don't want to be an X leader. You want to be more of a Y leader. And this is not generational. I'm saying X as far as we're thinking about behavior theory. You want to be more of a Y type of leader where you believe the best about your team and the people that work for you. So we want to foster relatedness or belonging in the workplace. Number 4, balance intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. While extrinsic rewards are important, prioritize intrinsic motivation by making work meaningful and fulfilling. This is a common thread through all of these motivation theories that we've been talking about. Well, maybe not Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That talks more about basic extrinsic types of things. But at the highest level, we move toward more intrinsic motivation. Ultimately, that's going to be the determining factor. Are you providing opportunities for people to motivate themselves? If you have to do all of the motivating, it's a problem. I never want to have to be the motivator for my teams. Now, do I create an environment where that can happen? Yes. Do I try to keep from demotivating my teams? Yes. But ultimately, I want to give them the work that's meaningful. I want to trust them to do their work. Going back to number 1, I want to give them autonomy to do the things that I've hired them to do. Gives me peace of mind, but it also gives them a sense of fulfillment, that their work matters, that they matter, that they're not just another widget. They're not just another paycheck. They're not just another number, but they mean something to the workplace. Why do so many people leave the workplace? Because they don't feel like they are valued. They feel like just another commodity. They feel like just another moving piece on a chessboard, that they are pawns in this work environment. If you want people to stay, make them believe that they are important to the work. Make them believe that they are indispensable to what is going on in the workplace. All right, that's just a tip for you today. Number 5, acknowledge progress. Regularly recognize and celebrate progress. This is just standard. Helping employees see the value of their contributions and fostering a continued sense of achievement. And you can reward people in a number of ways. People are weird. They're only human, right? That's the song we started off with. They're only human. You would be amazed of what a plaque or a certificate will do for somebody, or a gift from the dollar store. Just something just weird and crazy. Just do some fun stuff in the workplace. It doesn't have to always cost you a lot. It's not always about significant pay increases and things like that. Again, you do have to pay people fairly. We want to have just fair wages for people, but all things being equal, we want to recognize people on a regular basis. Keep them off kilter. It might be a Starbucks gift card. It might be something from the dollar store. Just something that let people know that you care, that you're thinking about them is really important, and especially when it's definitely needs to be related to your organizational goals, your mission. But so get creative with it. Get creative with it. You also have to understand your team, know the culture of your team. So a few cautions for you as we think about self-determination theory. Again, there are cultural considerations. Critics point out that self-determined theory emphasizes autonomy, and intrinsic motivation that may not fully account for cultural differences in motivation. Again, in more collective types of cultures, extrinsic motivations will play out a little bit differently, and there's a significant role of the outside forces of the community. In the United States, we are these rugged individualists. We believe in capitalism and just drive and be all that we can be. Some other cultures are more like collective. Hey, it's more about the community, more about the team. You have to figure out who you're working with. I don't know. The other caution is just complexity in application. Implementing the principles of self-determination theory in the workplace can be challenging. It requires a nuanced understanding of individual motivations and organizational context. And I put a link in the description about the 6 different areas in self-determination theory. I'm not a psychologist. I don't expect you to be a psychologist unless you already are. I'm just giving you some tips where you can pull some things from these various theories and add them to your toolbox. This is just one thing to add to your toolbox. We're only doing 15 minutes on these topics, so I can't get really deep, but these are just some basic things to consider. And again, looking at this through a culturally competent lens, while autonomy is central to self-determination, its applications definitely have to be balanced with an understanding of cultural values around authority and community, especially that authority one. How is authority looked at in these different cultures? That's a really key component that people miss as leaders. This is why we have to have diversity of thought. That's why we need a diverse team. We need to have people from diverse backgrounds so we can understand how to apply these things cross-culturally and in culturally competent ways. And there's a difference. So in cultures that strongly emphasize collective decision-making, fostering relatedness and community connection might be as crucial as promoting individual autonomy. That's a good one. That's some wisdom there. But my challenge for you today is to look at your organization. Look at the makeup of your organization. What drives your team, and how can you apply these theories that I've been sharing with you to your workplace, and how can you do it in culturally competent ways? All right, don't forget to check out the other episodes. I will put the links in the description. Also put the link to self-determination theory in the description so you can check that out. But let's not forget the strength and perseverance that it takes to lead with empathy and inclusivity. Better leaders get better results. So to every one of you leading the charge for a more supportive and engaging workplace, I leave you with this. Stay bold, stay inspired, and remember that your actions today shape the culture of tomorrow. And I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. This is Glenn Guyton.